Graduates and parents, it's my honor today to address you at your Lambton College in Toronto Convocation. As I stand here before you, looking back on my years at educational institutions, the first thoughts that come to mind are ones of pride and accomplishment. 39 years ago, my parents came to Canada with the promise of creating a better life and providing opportunity for me. As I stand here with you virtually, I feel a sense of nostalgia. I imagine what it might be like for you too to have dreams of fulfillment. I think about your generation as it sets out to make its own way, and the endless possibilities that are in front of you. It brings me back to thoughts of myself, sitting in a crowd at my own graduation. The thoughts that flashed through my mind were of an immigrant, an only child, that was setting out into the real world and embarking on my attempt to make good on the promises of my parents. Now, while I've had a great deal of success, as was mentioned in the introduction, I want to introduce you to two topics as humans we don't often want to discuss, yet we have to deal with, or will deal with at some point in time in our lives. The first of which is failure. As graduates heading out into the world in some capacity, as students, friends, sisters, brothers, sons, daughters, husbands, and wives, you will taste some of life's failures. In the office, in the workplace, in the hospital or lab, at some point, you will taste some of life's defeats. For me, my greatest source of success was also my most profound source of failure. Coming into 2019, I was coaching Brandon McBride. He had recently broken the Canadian record. He had been crowned the Diamond League winner in Paris. He was the current number 4 ranked athlete in the world over 800 meters. He was being touted as a medalist at the World Championships in Doha, Qatar, and a potential Olympic medalist in Tokyo, Japan. He was in the best shape of his life. He was producing times that no one in the world had seen before. All signs pointed towards the podium, and more success than any of us knew what to do with. It was just then, as things do sometimes, they came undone. They fell apart. He had raced 9 of his best races of his career statistically, and he failed to get out of the semifinal. Ultimately, he missed the World Championship final altogether. I was left to answer questions from the media, from the fans here in Canada, the coaching staff, his agents, and to the shoe companies, all whom wanted to know exactly what had happened. I didn't have any answers. The only response I could come up with was, I don't know. The second topic is uncertainty. Make no mistake about it. In the last 12 months, the coronavirus has all placed stressors upon us. Stressors that we didn't think we'd have to deal with in this lifetime. In fact, you've all had to deal with this very same uncertainty as you've had to navigate through your studies and through this global pandemic. For me, I'm currently dealing with this on a daily, ever-changing basis as we prepare for an on-again and off-again Olympic Games that in actuality may never occur. We've had to change training locations due to shutdowns. We are currently training on the second floor of an abandoned department store. We have no clue if or when we will ever get to compete, far less elite competition. However, like Kobe Bryant says, the job's not done. It's not finished. So I tell my athletes daily, we have a place to work, we are going to do work. Now remember, no one is immune to failure. No one is immune to uncertainty. So don't run from it. At some point, it will grace you with its presence. When it rears its ugly head, face it head on. Continue to embrace it. Even more important than failure or uncertainty is what opposes it. On the flip side of failure and uncertainty is hope. Now that's exactly where I place all of you. Your graduating class and this generation of students provides the hope that this world so desperately is in need of. This generation of students will be noted for its creativity and forward thinking. Your resiliency to handle economic and employment loss, to handle racial and social injustices, to handle political and environmental change. Ultimately, you are the body of people who will be on the front lines fostering social change and social reform on a local and global platform. Your ingenuity to restructure and to rebuild our culture, our climate, our employment landscape, and to engineer new business as we forge on into the future. Lastly, your ability to complete tasks. Each and every one of you have done the most important thing a person can do once they have chosen or been given a task, and that is to complete it. What I've come to notice in my very short time on this planet is that recent trends suggest people are more truant and less intent on finishing things. Gone are the days when many people relish work and the fact that they have something important to complete. You are the antithesis. You are indeed swimming in the opposite direction to current waves and trends. You have conquered the lost art of task completion. You have already done so much, just by the virtue of the fact that you have graduated and are sitting here listening to me. In your short time here at Lambton College, Toronto, you have checked the appropriate boxes: resiliency, ingenuity, creativity, task completion. You are ready for whatever the diverse and ever-changing world may have in store for you. In closing, let me leave you with a few parting words of wisdom. If 2020, with all of its immeasurable ups and downs, has taught us anything, it would be realizing just how important it is to be empathetic. Just how vital this trait and skill are in our current environment and atmosphere. Work. Work to understand how better to react to people around you. Listen. Listen so you can feel what those around you are feeling. Care. So you can understand why someone is responding the way that they are in any particular situation. Empathy provides great context in all areas, especially the employment world. Have awareness of your surroundings. This might be one of the most difficult things to do while on the job. Start by being present in your thoughts, being immersed in the now. Continue by dealing with your support systems, your parents, your family, your friends, your coworkers. Spend valuable time with them. Have meaningful conversations with them. Be present. The present is a gift, not meant to be overwhelming, but instead to be revered. Gratitude. Focus on being thankful for opportunities. The opportunities to learn and to be educated. Thankful for the instructors, the professors, the teachers, the faculty members, and the counselors that have poured into you and allowed you to cultivate your skill set. It's always easier to take shots at others for their success. rather than to be thankful for what you currently possess. An opportunity to become gainfully employed. If you can wake up and reflect on whether you are achieving these 3 things daily, and you are, you have set out on a path to being the best version of yourself, which means everything else will fall into place accordingly. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2020 here at Lambton College in Toronto.